So the World Cup 2018 is officially underway, and I've decided to do a special video today discussing how I think England should line up in their matches. Now, when Southgate announced the 23-man squad, you can see it down on the right side here. This is every single player that's been selected. There are a couple there that maybe I wouldn't have chosen. There are a few missing. I would have taken Wilshere, for example, and maybe Shelvey as well. I think we're lacking central midfielders, actually. But it's the decision that Southgate has made, and I decided to take that 23 shortlist, I guess you could say, or the list that actually made it to the World Cup, and put them into an England lineup that I think would give us the best chances of winning the World Cup. Yeah, probably not going to happen, but I will be supporting England. Of course I will. I'm from England. And those of you from England as well, you should be getting behind the team, supporting them. And any team that you support, of course, if you're from a different nationality, you should be rooting for your team. And there is one way you can keep up to date on everything that's going on with your nation and every other nation involved in the World Cup. And that is by downloading OneFootball. If you don't have this app on your phone, what are you doing? It keeps you up to date with everything, and especially with the World Cup now. You don't want to be missing out on any information. As you can see here, it keeps you up to date with all of the fixtures coming up. You've also got a news tab, so you can keep up to date on what's going on, not only on the pitch, but off the pitch. You've then got a World Cup tab, so you can keep up to date with World Cup specific news if you're not interested in just club news at the moment. You've also got the ability to follow a club and a nation. So obviously I follow my beloved Arsenal and my national team, England. It sends you notifications when goals go in, also when there's red cards, when the game starts and finishes. But not only does it help with football games, it's also very good with transfers. If you go over to the transfers tab, it will show you all the players linked with your club that you're following, and also all of the transfers from, well, all the rumours from around the world of football. So at the moment, Arsenal are linked with Mario Götze, Bernd Leno, Callum Chambers apparently could be on his way to Fulham. So I'm just checking out the latest England news. Apparently Ozil dreams of beating England in the World Cup final. I'm not sure I like that so much. It would probably happen though, let's be honest. If England were somehow to make it to the final with Germany, I think we'd probably get destroyed. But you can also check out the full squad. You can see who's injured, their stats. You can see how many caps they've got, things like that. It's just really cool to know. You can get all of this information right at your fingertips. So make sure that you download this OneFootball app for the World Cup and keep it on your phone for the new season as well, because you'll keep up to date with all the transfers in the Premier League and any other competitions that you follow. It's an absolute must-have. Thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. And now let's get into building my England squad. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, what formation do I think England should be going with? Now, based off the 23 players we have going to the tournament, I actually think we're heavy on defenders and we're lacking midfielders. We've got quite a few forward options. So actually, I think maybe playing a 5-4-1 or a 5-2-3, something like that would probably do quite well for us. But that's more when we're defending. When we're on the attack, I would then convert it to a 3 at the back formation, maybe like a 3-5-2. I think going 2 up top would be absolutely fantastic for this squad, actually, now that I think about it, seeing as we've got Rashford, we've got Vardy, we've got Harry Kane, of course. We've got quite a few strikers that we could play. So let's start off with that 5-3-2, I think I want to go with here, and just see how it looks. So in terms of goalkeepers, I would probably go with Butland. So we'll go ahead and drag him into the team here. I'm using Photoshop, by the way, so yeah, I can't really tell you where to go ahead and do this. I've built it myself, so it's pretty cool though. I love playing around with squads and moving them onto the pitch and stuff. So I'm going to go with Butland in goal. I think he is our best keeper. Pickford a close second, and then we've got, of course, Pope. This is in order of their squad numbers, by the way, if you're wondering why it's in a weird order. So number 1 down to number 23 here. So Butland, I believe, is number 13 for this tournament. So Butland in goal. I think at right back, or right wing back, I guess, it's a little bit difficult. I'm thinking maybe Trippier, because then we can have Kyle Walker as a right centre-back, which we have done before. That is a difficult one. I think, personally, Walker is the best right-back we have, and I think he's better going forward than he is defensively. So I think it would be silly not to have Kyle Walker at right wing-back. I feel like he's kind of wasted at right centre-back, so I'm going to go with Walker as right wing-back. And then on the left wing-back position, I would go with Danny Rose. I think he he's probably our best left back. We of course have Ashley Young going to the tournament, and we could have taken Luke Shaw, Bertrand, but Danny Rose, I think when fit, should be starting. I think definitely at left wing back would suit him. So now we need to pick 3 centre backs. I think Stones has got to go in there, and I think I would partner him up with Walker on that right side. I would then go with... that's difficult. See, I'm quite surprised Smalling didn't make it, because he has done well, I think, for England when he has played. But because we don't have him, the other option we've got, of course, is Jones. We've got Cahill. We've got Maguire. I think I would actually go with Jones in the middle, like that. And then I would go with probably Cahill, actually, on the left side. Bit more experience in there. And I think that back 5 could be very decent. I think Stones, not quite the perfect choice for a centre-back in the middle. So I think I'd go with Jones there. And have Stones, who's really good on the ball. He's got a great pass on him, sitting slightly to the right-hand side. And Cahill the same on the left, with Rose on the far left. I think that could be a very strong back 6 with Butland in goal. So then I would go with either 3 midfielders, 3 centre mids, or I'd go with 2 centre mids and then 3 up front. But I think I'm going to go with 3 midfielders and 2 strikers. That's what I'm feeling right now. So personally, based on form, I know quite a few people might disagree, but I'd actually put Henderson in the middle. I think Henderson, although he's known as a bit of a sideways passer, he's not very confident with his ability to pass the ball forward, which actually I think when he does do it, he's very good. I think Henderson is actually a very underrated midfielder. And of course, captain for Liverpool, he's had a fantastic season for them. I'd put him in the middle, I really would. I would then go with Dele Alli on the left of Henderson. And then I would go with... Oh, it's difficult. I'm just thinking now, where the hell does Sterling get in this team if we're not playing wingers? That is a difficult one. I think actually I'm going to change this a little bit. I'd probably go with Delph there and Ali there. So we have Delph as another kind of defensive option there, but Ali slightly more forward like this. And then I'd go with 2 strikers. I'd go with Harry Kane up top with Rashford on the left. So I think that could be our starting lineup for this tournament. But of course, when we go on the attack, you'd expect Walker to be right up here, Rose to be up here. I'd have Henderson sitting back, Delph kind of here, but Dele Alli would then move in this area here. Kane can advance, Rashford can pull out to the left side. I think that's what I'd go with. But then, if I wanted to get someone like Sterling into the lineup, I think it depends on which team we're coming up against. I think against Belgium, this team would probably be better just because it's a bit more solid, you know. So let's put this, that's not what I want to do. Let's put this back like that, like that. I would then go to 3 up top. I'd have Rashford on the left, Kane in the middle, and instead of Delph, I'd go with then Sterling on the right here, and I'd go with Henderson, and I probably wouldn't have Ali in that. I'd probably go with someone like maybe a Lingard or maybe a Dyer, or maybe even a Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's probably going to be Delph though, if I'm honest. I think he would probably go into this team because he's such an energetic midfielder. So it'd be something like that instead. But of course, this is with 5 at the back, which might not happen. It might happen. I think, again, it depends on what team we're playing against. But let's convert this to 4 at the back. I would take out Jones. I think he's the weakest of the 3 there. So I'd put Cahill, Stones. I'd then drop Walker back a little bit, Rose back a little bit there. I'd then go with maybe a 4-3-3, have Henderson there. I would then have Dele Alli here, and then I would probably go with Lingard there. And all of a sudden, if we get these players out a little bit more wide, we've got a completely different lineup. And I tell you what, although I think that there are players missing from this squad, there's no doubt in my mind it's still a very strong squad and we can do a lot with it. I think we will make it to at least the round of 16. We'll get through our group in 2nd place. But with the quality we've got on the pitch, I don't see us getting further than that. We don't have the same quality as some of the other nations that I would expect to be in that top 6 come the end of the tournament. So let's say we're going up against a slightly weaker side. So we could change this completely so we can rest a few of our players. I'd go with Ashley Young on the left. I'd go with Pickford in goal. Well, actually, no, to be honest, I wouldn't. I would stick with Butland. Butland should probably play every game. I would say you need to keep that consistent. Take Cahill out. We can go with Maguire. And then I would drop Stones out and put Jones in instead. Then we've got Trippier. Now, this is the beauty of having a 23-man squad, you can really change it around a lot. We can then go with Dyer there. We can go with Ruben Loftus-Cheek there. We could even go with Alexander-Arnold. It's such a long name, isn't it? Maybe there. I actually think he's just as good at right centre mid as he is at right back. You could even play him at right back if you really wanted to, of course. You could then maybe go with Welbeck out on the left, take Kane out and put in Vardy, who I think operates better with a striker partner. Oh, I've done it again. So maybe you have Welbeck and Vardy up top, and then Sterling drops in between. And instead of Sterling, you could go with, who else do we have? Probably Lingard in that situation like that. There is plenty we can do. There really is. We're looking at it like this. There's quite a few different formations and different tactics we can go with. So I'm actually quite happy with the squad. But the only changes I would have made to the squad is if I find him here. So I would change Ruben Loftus-Cheek for Wilshere, and I would have probably taken. Who else would I have taken out, though? That's the problem. You can easily say this player should be in, this player should make it, and then you've got to decide which player you leave out. And actually, I'm not seeing too many here that I would leave out. The only other one I'm kind of a little bit unsure about is this guy here, Alexander-Arnold. It's been a breakout season for him at Liverpool. Is he good enough to break into a World Cup England squad? I think he is. I think, though, that the fact we've got Walker and Trippier, we could easily get away without Alexander-Arnold as a backup right back. So I think there's something else there. I think Southgate sees him as a versatile player and can play him as a midfielder. But maybe we would have gone with Shelvey. Shelvery, I didn't mean to put that. Maybe Shelvey would have been better. Tough one, though. It really is. So let's change that back. So have I decided what my official lineup would be? I think I have. So I'd go with Danny Rose as left back. I think I'm going to go 4 at the back. I think it's probably our best option. I'd go with Cahill at left centre back, just the experience he brings to the team. I'd then go with Stones, and then I'd go with Kyle Walker as a right back. Let's move that in a little bit. Nope, I don't want to do that. Silly Photoshop. I'd then go with... I'd definitely play Henderson ahead of Dyer, I think, at this point. Like that. Then I would go with Dele Alli on the left. And oh, it's so difficult, isn't it? It really is difficult to decide. I don't envy the decision that managers have to make. I'd probably go Sterling on the right. I'd then go with... That's not what I want to do. I'd then want to go with Kane as the main striker. And then go with Rashford on the left. Where are you, Rashford? There. Maybe Dele Alli on the right. And then have Delph. See, that position there is prime for Wilshere. I really do think Wilshere should be there. And it bothers me that he's not. Let's duplicate Delph there and put in Wilshere. And if we move Delph out from there, get out from underneath so I can click you. Let's move him over there. I honestly think that's the strongest team we could have taken. I really do. Wilshere should be at the tournament, in my opinion. He would be getting the passes up to Rashford and Kane more than any other midfielders. He's such a creative player. When he gets in this position here, imagine that with Ali, Sterling dropping inside, Kane moving over to the right, Rashford cutting inside. I mean, Henderson can march between these areas here and just patrol. I mean, it's a seriously strong front five. It really is. But unfortunately, we don't have Mr. Jackie Boy, and it would be Delph in this situation. So I think I'm happy with that. I think that's probably the lineup I would go with. And I would be expecting a lot of overlapping from Walker on the right, Delph on the left. I would expect Rashford to actually be playing a lot of time in the centre, moving inside, doing what Alexis did for Arsenal a lot of the time. And then Harry Kane, of course, as the target man up front. I think we've got potential to unlock defences with this team here. I think 4-3-3 is just a solid choice. Of course, though, you can change that. You could go with a 4-2-3-1. So it looks something like this instead. It's a bit more of a solid midfield, I would say. You've got more free roam for Dele Alli there and Delph and Henderson to just sit back. So there are plenty of different ways we can move around this 11-man squad here. But with the bench we've got as well, it's not too bad. I just wish Wilshere was going. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed kind of what I thought about the squad. Let me know your lineup in the comments below. And once again, thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. Make sure you download the app for the rest of the World Cup. You don't want to miss out on any stats, facts, and things like that. And hopefully England are going to do well in their opening game very soon. And hopefully we'll see them go further than we have for a long while. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Who knows? Will we get to the semis? That would be unbelievable. I think anything more than the quarters would be unbelievable. Anything less than round of 16 would be not good enough. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.